my name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara Just Saw. And today, I went and saw Solo. I'm in my best Kira cosplay that I could find from any kind of source photos online, so it's a bit off. Just need a gun and some sadness inside me, and I've got one of them. If you've seen any of my other Star Wars videos, you'll put together that I was very excited for this film. I have been since they announced it. I've been excited about the yearly Star Wars movie for the beginning of time. Since they started it, I'm all about it. I love Star Wars content. I have always loved Star Wars. I know a lot of people weren't very excited about this. I know it's getting a lot of like, oh, it's not great, it's okay, but it's not great kind of press. A lot of people are a little skeptical of like the Solo stories, not just Solo, but like just like the one person story kind of origin thing. And I'll tell you, I didn't have any of those concerns going in. None of those really stuck out to me as actual problems while watching the film. I had a really, really good time seeing it. I didn't get bored. I felt that it was great backstory and a lot of fun and true to the characters. And was it a 10 out of 10 rager like, you know, The Last Jedi? No. But I don't think that it was trying to be that. There aren't going to be any hard spoilers in here, but I will be talking about specific moments that happened that aren't spoiler-y. So, light spoilers, I guess. This movie felt a lot like Rogue One felt, where it was not a epic like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It felt a lot more like a really wonderful expanded universe. It felt like the Star Wars novels that I used to read like in junior high school, like going way back to my days. It felt like that. It just felt like a really good space Indiana Jones adventure film where things are always happening. You don't get bored, but nothing is like a shock and surprise. It's just everything unfolds really nicely, really well paced, and it serves its purpose in a really lovely way. I have seen on a few spoiler-free reviews that people aren't digging the young optimism that he has. They're like, well, he's this kind of like crotchety dude who like doesn't enjoy helping anything. He kind of wants to do things on his own terms, and he's also very grumpy about how things are doing things when they're not his own terms. I find that lovely because it's young him, and he still is like starry-eyed and very excited about even just getting his own ship, and you see the backstory of that, which is lovely, and you know, finding his own, you know, family, his team. And so I like that optimism that he has. That doesn't bother me at all. He does a lot of work with some voice play to kind of sound like Han Solo, Harrison Ford, and a lot of the times it hits. I will say, out of all the characters, sadly, my least favorite was Han Solo. It's kind of a bummer. He in no way did a bad job at all. I just didn't find him as engaging as the other characters. And in the grand scheme of things, the other characters are a lot less important than Han Solo in the movie Solo. I wrote down in my notes, I love Kira, and she's gonna die. Because, I mean, I guess this is a light spoiler, like, I'm not saying that that's what happens at all, but I am saying that in my mind, when I was walking into this film, knowing that Han and Leia have a thing in the end, and that everyone knows that they're so beloved as a couple and a character duo, they're not gonna write the love story of, like, the century for Kira and Han. They're just not gonna do that, because they don't want, you know, you feel conflicted as an audience member. So she's either gonna die, she's gonna betray him, or she's gonna fall in love with Lando. Something's gonna happen. And so I thought initially that's what was gonna happen. I won't reveal what happens with her, but you kind of know going in that that's a possibility. One of these things is going to happen. It was a continuation, an extended universe kind of thing. It didn't feel like it wasn't adding anything new. It wasn't really shaking our boots. Hopefully the people who didn't like Last Jedi will really like this, because it definitely doesn't change anything. In my mind, I'm feeling like the people who don't like this are also the people who didn't like Last Jedi. Just because in my mind that's funny to me. You, in a sense, get to know a lovely little team for the film. Of course, they were going to set up a small team aspect, and they were all really great. I super enjoyed the alien in the team. I super enjoyed the robot. I think in this and in Rogue One, they did a really good job with finding comedy through the robot, and I welcome that comedy. I really like it. It's a great contrast between the seriousness of the characters. The setup of the name Han Solo, really lovely. The setup of getting the ship, the Millennium Falcon, really lovely. The setup of the relationship between Chewie and Han, just stinking lovely. The characters that you've not seen before, really great. The characters that you know and love in other films, specifically Lando being a very, very, very wonderful part of this film. Just all really wonderful. I don't know that Donald Glover is bad at anything. He was certainly wonderful in this. I felt like he got the character of Lando more than the Han actor got the character of Han. I know a lot of people were like, oh, we just want a Lando movie, and I would second that. My favorite Lando line is, I don't like it, I don't agree with it, but I accept it. And man, if that's not a mood, I don't know what is. There were a lot of really good one-liners in this film that I super enjoyed and super had the tone of Han Solo. And my favorite had to be, I'm telling you, you will never have a deeper sleep than curling up into a Wookiee's lap. I will say, I didn't really super enjoy the Han and Kira love aspect of it, and I wonder if that's because, like I said earlier, I just love Han and Leia, and so maybe I was just like, no, I don't. I was, though, a way bigger fan of Lando and his robot friends. I loved their character, and I so on the internet it was blowing up recently, very recently, like last week, that Lando was pansexual, I think is what it said, and I was like, okay, cool, great, cool, like, stance to take, and, like, the writer of Lando, who, like, invented Lando, was like, yeah, he's pansexual. I was like, very cool, but, like, if you're not gonna act on it in the movie, I really don't care. Like, why bring it up at all if it's not, like, you know, written into the script? That just kind of feels a little lazy. But, I mean, he's in love with his robot, so you kind of sound like a little bit. I still was very much under the impression that Kira was going to die in this. Again, I won't say if she did or not, but in my notes, I really, really thought that she was about halfway through. And I wasn't loving the chemistry that they had, and so I was like, if she's gonna die, which she obviously is, because I thought she was, it's like, if she's gonna die, they should have just made the love, like, explosive, like, have just the chemistry off the walls, and just, like, have them just, like, madly, deeply, passionately in love. Because then maybe he learns from that and then, like, brings that to the Leia relationship. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was passionate enough to warrant, like, being sad about her possibly dying or her, you know, whatever was going to happen with her. I wasn't buying it in the notes. The end fight was relatively predictable, but in a way that was still really entertaining, and there wasn't really anything in this film that was ever gonna be like, oh, no! Like, there wasn't any, like, death, any, like, plot twist. There wasn't anything that was just gonna, like, blow you away. And in that case, it was just kind of, like, safely fun. This was a safe movie, and it didn't need to not be. It doesn't upset me that it was safe. In a sense, it's just, like, something that you can throw on and watch and enjoy and, you know, get a really nice backstory of a character that you love, and it worked. For what it was, it totally worked. It really seems like they're setting it up for something else. Another Han movie, maybe another Solo movie where, again, Solo not being Han Solo, Solo being like a, you know, like a Boba Fett movie or something, and then, like, maybe that story falls into it kind of thing. So it seems like there's more to be said. Obviously, there's so much more in the extended universe to be said. There's this infinite content to be made in the Star Wars universe, which is so exciting. I know a little overwhelming to a lot of people, but overall, I had a really good time. It just kind of felt like Han Solo and the misadventures of him and his friends, and that's fun. I wanted to see that. I really enjoyed it. The characters were really solid, really fun, and overall, the action was great. The acting was, you know, 7.5 out of 10, I'd say, and it totally worked for me. For the Tamara just saw of Last Jedi and the Tamara just saw of this, I think both of them are just, like, very different opinions from most people, very unpopular opinions, but that's all right. It's cool. It's great. So fun. It's fun. I have no idea what I'm seeing next week, but I can almost guarantee I won't be in very casual cosplay, so look out for that. Thank you for watching. May the force be with you, and I'll see you all next week. Bye. Oh, and at the end, Han shot first.